Hello, I'm Kyoka, the Awkward Black Nomad. I'm a writer, I'm a dog mom, and I travel solo. I'm gonna just go ahead and bring this out right now. I don't want to hear nobody say nothing in the comment section. It was that kind of day. I need my glass of wine. Um, so I kind of don't feel like doing my normal intro. So I'm gonna just tell y'all hi. Like the video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends. Church announcements. I'm gonna put this at the beginning instead of at the end. I will be MIA, okay, the next 2 months. So I'm gonna see y'all. As I mentioned before, next month is my birthday month, and I'm taking a little hiatus, a little minding my business. In July, I'll be going to China. And I'll see if I'll put some content out, but it probably won't be in the next 2 months. So I'm alive. If you aren't following me on the social medias, I am Awkward Black Nomad on Instagram, on TikTok. So I usually will probably post there, but YouTube channel is probably gonna be a little dead. Letting y'all know. Another announcement. So Yvonne McBride and I have a book club, the Read and Wonder Book Club. If you aren't already a member, you can join. There's a link in the description of this video. We are reading Nobody's Magic by Destiny Birdsong, and she is actually going to come onto the channel and do an interview with us. We'll be on Yvonne's channel, but I'm very excited. That'll be June 22nd. I'm going to create a post about it. But we are here for a reason tonight. We have a very special guest. I'm going to bring her up. Y'all like the video, and if you have a question for my guest during the live, please put a Q in front of your question. Be nice, act like y'all got some sense. As you come into the room, Black Folk We Speak, say hi. Drop down in the comment section. Let us know where you are. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi. Hi, Kyoka. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Stephanie, could you tell the people a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you are?
Okay. I am Stephanie. I am originally from Atlanta, Georgia, but we were a military family, so we moved around a lot. I am currently just outside of London, England, and I am an author. I am a screenwriter and travel consultant.
Yes, I love it.
Hey,
Brown Girls
thank you.
Invest too says that's
Writers in the
exciting.
house.
Whoop whoop. Hi, Black Yaya. Hi, everybody. Come on in the room. Okay. And like the video. So, and I love the people who liked the video and left. We love y'all.
They're just gone.
We love y'all. It's okay. Um, So, Stephanie, I'm so glad you decided to join us this evening. My evening, your very, very early morning, child. We appreciate
So,
your presence. Thank you so much.
like I said, I took a nap, so I'm good to go.
Yes, we love a nap. Um, so you're outside of London right now,
Mhm.
but how did your journey as a traveler begin? You mentioned being a part of a military family, but when
Yeah.
did you start traveling solo?
I didn't start traveling solo until December 31st, 2024. So, what, 5 months ago? This is when I'm telling you I packed up my stuff and like, well, I'll first start this way. We were a military family. We started out in Tennessee, where I was born. We went to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Then we went to Alaska. And it was in Alaska I started reading a lot and just, I was always excited about getting on a plane and going somewhere, going to my next place. So then we went to Fort McPherson in Atlanta. But I would always take girls' trips with friends, with family. But after the election, I was like, I want to leave permanently. So that's what I did. I set it for November that I was going to be out of the States by December 31st. And I left out for Boston December 30th, and I was in Ireland December 31st.
I love Ireland. You've probably
Isn't it beautiful?
again, shameless promotion for Ireland. These people are not paying me, okay? They're not paying me. I love Ireland. If you are a black woman, PSA, if you are a black
Go to
woman, go to Ireland. Okay?
go
Get
to
yourself a
Ireland.
juice box. Ireland and Scotland. Get yourself a juice box if you like that. Um,
Definitely.
did you also love Ireland? Just
I so okay, I'm going to start with this story first. The first time I ever met people from Ireland was in Atlanta. I was going to a wedding reception on a first date, and it was all Irish people. And we were, if anybody's from Atlanta, if you ever heard of Johnny's Hideaway, I had never been, but it's as if your dentists and doctors and Middle Eastern people wanted to rock out to 80s. It was very different, very different. I was going on a first date and they were having their wedding reception there. And I was like, well, I don't know these people, but I was telling my date, you go ahead and go, and I'll just stand here because, I don't want to interfere somebody's wedding reception. So I'm just minding my own business. I'm surrounded by Irish people, just minding my own business. And all of a sudden, this 6'4" Irish man, shocking white hair, no, he comes up to me and he starts screaming at me. Yes, and he's like, "Who are you?" And I don't have the accent, so just imagine a 6'4", 6'5" Irish man coming up to you, and I'm 5'2", and screaming, "Why are you at this reception?" And I'm like, "Hold on." And I was like, I'm pointing towards my date. And I'm like, "Well, my date is there. I was just invited. I'm just here on the invite." And he started screaming, "I'm the father of the groom. I know everybody's here. You don't belong here." And I'm like, "Okay, I know I'm the only black person, but it was dark." I was like, I was just like, and he was just screaming at me until like other Irish men were like, "Leave her alone. She's on a date." And he just kept going on and on. Are your doggies okay? So he kept going on and on. And finally, I just turned around. I was just like, I'm just going to leave, right? I turn around, and this little Irish man, my height, he looked, and I hate to say this, he looked exactly like the Keebler elf. And he's like, "Don't leave. I want you here. I'm the grandfather of the groom." I'm just like, what is happening? He was like, "Ignore my son. He's a drunk. He's a lush. Ignore him." And I was just like, I'm leaving now. So that was my first introduction to Irish people. And I was like, I need to give them another chance. But yeah, it was a very interesting time. And then even when we were on a plane, there were two Irish men getting in a fight with each other. I was just like, I don't know what's about to happen in Ireland. I really don't. But thankfully, I loved Ireland. Everybody was great. It was a wonderful experience.
okay, so I'll have to agree with you there. I also, while I was in Ireland, I didn't witness a fight. I witnessed the aftermath of a fight. I also witnessed early mornings on the bus where people looked like they had been in a fight.
They
I
they
don't,
live loudly. They live loudly.
yes, yes,
They were so warm and welcoming and friendly, and honestly, I was just like, "Y'all are like black people over here. Okay, I get it now."
yeah,
So yeah, I loved
I liked
Ireland.
it. I loved it. Um, okay, let's get back on track. If you let me derail the conversation, I will derail it. So, Um, so when you decided, okay, I actually
Mhm,
want to go abroad long term, how did you
mhm.
plan your itinerary?
I wanted to go to all of the countries that I've read about, and especially as a writer, I definitely wanted to go to England because of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, Oscar Wilde. So it was a lot based on classic literature, is what I was thinking of. So Ireland, I definitely needed to see the Long Room and the Long Room Library at Trinity College. Edinburgh, just because Edinburgh is so beautiful. I mean, the history there, and then England, and I had to go to Oxford to walk in the footsteps of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien. Like, as a writer, that was just non-negotiable for me. So then I went to Albania, We'll talk about that later. Then I took a ferry from Albania to Italy. I did a train through Italy to France and then Germany, England, and Wales. I think that's it. Yeah. Yes, that was it. So it was definitely literature based. And then after that, it was just let me just go with the flow.
I love it. And that's a large part of why I started off in Ireland and England as well. Just being a dork, I think, and wanting to see. I didn't get to go to Oxford though. I gotta go back. I've been 3 times and I need to go again. I've
Which cities were you
promised.
in?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was asking which cities were you in?
I went to London. I didn't get to go to
Okay.
Edinburgh. I went to Dublin and I went to the name is escaping me.
In England or Scotland, Galway?
In not Galway. It's not gonna come to me. I have to look at my itinerary thing. But in when I was in London though, I did take day
Mhm.
trips. Like I went to I don't know if it's the wine or if it's like the end of the day, but I cannot remember any cities.
The
Where's the south?
Cotswolds?
Where's the south
Oh, okay,
of England
of
where there's a
England, the south of
beach?
England.
Where there's a beach?
Dover, you mean the cliffs of Dover or no, that's not really no, that is
It's-
there's so many.
I'm
Well,
on my last leg. It's fine. It's fine. But
you know what?
my point
Drink
is,
some more wine, that will help, that will bring your
is that
memory
how
back.
it works?
That is how it in my head, that's how it works. You drink more.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to you. Um, so anyways, we have that connection. I wanted to walk the same footsteps of some of the writers that I loved.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
kind of how I guided the beginning of my journey. Brighton, yes, Esther. Esther is also in
Right.
London. Y'all should connect. We love Esther over here. I only did that to make her laugh. Um, anyways, so you mentioned that you decided to make your exit the tail end of 2024.
Mhm.
How did you prepare for that exit? How did you financially prepare? What kind of things did you do?
I sold a lot of stuff. I had a little bit of settlement. I did have workers' comp, so I put that towards it as well. But it was really selling a lot of stuff. Like I was just like, everything's got to go. Everything's got to go. And the bad thing was, I did cancel my lease a little early, so I had to pay for that. But I don't know. It was just like I remember the day. It was November 11th and the election was the 4th, and November 11th I was just like, God, I don't care how this happens, but I am leaving this country before the new year. I wanted to celebrate the new year somewhere else. um and it was just like, as soon as I said that, everything just fell in place. Like there was no other option for me whatsoever. Everything just fell in place. People were grabbing furniture, like it, out the door. There's a picture on my Instagram or TikTok, I can't remember, but it's like the before and after picture. I mean, you my place was a mess. It was just a mess, but I was just like, everything must go. And I just put it in my head that there was no other option but for me to leave. That was the only there was just plan A. It was no plan B, no plan C, no plan D.
Mm. And how did your friends and family take you leaving?
Oh, they always knew I was gonna leave. That every house I'd ever been in, there would always be a picture of London just at my house. Like my family, and I have a son, and they were not surprised at all. They were just like, "Yeah, you don't belong here." I never felt like the States was my home. I just never. I always felt like I belonged to somewhere else. Um, so they were not surprised at all. They were like, "Yeah, okay, we'll see you when we see you then."
I
Now
like that.
my mom, she was just like, "Well, when are you coming back?" And I was just like, May, I guess." And she just, give you that mom look, like, "I know you're BSing me, but okay, I'll accept it." And it's May, and I'm still here. So
Well, your family though, they were in the military, so they'll come and find you.
well, as
You're not gonna hop a plane?
no, my dad doesn't like planes. That's the thing, he does not like getting on planes. My mom will do what is it, Liam Neeson? She'll do a Liam Neeson, like, "Where's my daughter?" But my dad, he'll be on the phone, "Is she okay?" But he's not getting on a plane. So,
Not calling.
My mom will Liam Neeson me, but no, yeah.
It's the same. I've always wanted to live outside the US. I feel like I was late to the train of wanting
When
to
did you
leave.
decide? When did you decide?
Oh, like very recent, like maybe 2023,
That's really recent?
2022. Yeah. I mean,
I mean, well,
I
that
think, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead.
Well, I think I had a dream of visiting other places when I was younger. Like, I wanted to see Japan, but
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. I think over time you just get sort of, I don't know, it's like your morale decreases, right? So it's like, oh, that's not going to happen. That could never happen. I can't do that. I can't afford that. Like you can't start to build and grow legs. And so all of a
Yes,
sudden you're standing in front of a wall of I can't, and any other possibility outside of that is impossible. So,
exactly.
yeah, I was late
I
coming to the party.
No, I think a lot of people started questioning life during COVID. I know I did. And there was at one point where I was just like, I don't, if I die, I don't want to die in the States. I just really don't. And I've had COVID 3 times. Each time I was like, listen, I need to get out of this country. But I think a lot of people were just questioning life in general. Like, is this what I want of my life? Is this where I want to live? And especially when you're in the States as a Black woman and you see it reversing back into the civil rights area, you're questioning everything. Like, is this even the country I want to work for, fight for, die for? And you just have to make the decision that's right for you.
That's true. I mean, it says I've always wanted to retire abroad. Glad I'm not waiting until then. I think a lot of
Yes.
people aren't waiting until
Mm-mm.
retirement. Um,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
They've checked out the Matrix. Everybody's just checking out the Matrix.
Oh, hi, gallivanting grandma. I texted you. Hi, y'all. Like the video.
She's in
Sorry.
Honduras. Oh my goodness.
She's in Honduras on a beach.
Oh,
We had a live a few days ago. She is on
mhm.
like literally steps from the beach. Paradise.
That yes, yes. There is nothing like the
Yes.
beach.
Okay. I have to drive an interview and I cannot. So, you are a writer.
Yes. I think you need some more wine. That's what I think. I wish I had
I think
some to
so.
share with
I'm
you.
so tired today, guys. Like,
What happened?
I feel like I use my brain too much. Do you ever feel
Oh
that
my,
way?
yeah, every day.
Not every day.
Every day.
It's just, you know what it is? I think it's because, and you can probably relate. Let me know. Or maybe I'm crazy and I need to be hospitalized. So, because I write for work, by
Mhm.
the end of the day, it's like I can't reply to text messages because there are words. I'm looking at my notes of things to ask you, and I'm just like, I don't have any interest in asking any of these questions.
I understand.
You guys watching us, maybe you guys need to take over and start asking Stephanie some
Okay, so this
questions.
you just sit back and chill out. You just relax, okay?
Right,
I
this is the
as a
Stephanie
writer,
show.
no, as a writer, I completely understand because my mind would just go to mush. It will, I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, I was trying to watch Peaky Blinders, and I was just like, I'm watching it, but I don't understand anything they're saying because my mind was mush. Okay, so I was just, usually I'm right here. I'm right here. That I was just like, I'm so tired. I'm just tired. So I completely understand.
Did you have that thing when you first moved there where sometimes when English people talk, it's like, or British, I think it's British, whatever. Sometimes when British people talk, it's like their words jumble because they talk so quickly.
There is, you can definitely tell differences in British accent and Scottish. Scottish, when I got to I mean Scotland, I was just like, I'm looking at your mouth, but the words aren't making any sense to me. Like I was in a restaurant and he was talking right to me, and I was just like, I'm trying to translate in my head. I can feel my brain cells trying to work. My brain cells like we tapped out. We're done. I was just
You're like,
like,
I can't do it.
what? And then and in England, I heard I was in a pub. Of course, you're always going to pubs, and I'm guessing this was a Cockney accent that the young lady had. And I was looking at her, and I was just like, oh, Miss Lady, I don't know what you're saying to me. I was just like, there's because there's very posh accents, and you could tell like that. I don't know, Victoria Beckham. You can tell, and then you can
Mhm.
tell
Mhm.
Cockney. You can tell Southern. It's just like the states, really. You can
Yeah.
tell different, but yeah, I
Even
check out
like
a lot. I'm like,
black Brits from the South sound totally different. From like the South and the East,
yeah,
they sound totally
yes,
different than the Central and the Northern accent.
Northern. It is, yeah. It's wild, but just like I have a Southern accent, which I try to get rid of, but it stays with me. But um, no, I had the best compliment. I was out. I actually went to a is it Celtic church service,
Okay.
and a lady was like, "Oh, you don't sound like you're from America." I was like, "Oh, thank you," even though I do. I was just like, "Thank you, I appreciate that."
What sign are you?
Virgo.
Oh.
Why? What?
I was
What?
gonna say no, no, no. So I'm an air sign. So
Okay.
sometimes I'm airy. So like sometimes when I'm
Mhm.
talking to people, or I could also be a little touch of autistic. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm talking to people, I'll start to talk like them, like I mirror their
Mhm.
behaviors. So like it
Oh,
happened a lot when I was in when I was in London because
mhm.
I would start to like change my words to match, and I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just that's just what I do with people. I think it's something about
Mhm.
trying to like relate to other people.
Yes, yes. I've been saying lovely. They say lovely a lot. Dear,
Mm.
hello. I say hello. It's just like I will listen to them and I'll be like, okay, I need to sound like that to fit in. One thing is I want to fit in because there has been times where I've run across people who aren't the friendliest to Americans. So I try to fit it. Even when I was in Germany, I was like, I need to learn Germany like now. So it's like, da Wiedersehen, whatever you want. So, so yeah, I definitely do understand that. I try to talk like the area that I am
Yeah.
in.
And then I think it's also one of those areas where they either hate Americans or not hate. When I say hate, I mean in like a like they think we're dumb and they don't want to
Yes.
be around us. Not like they're gonna bully us, but they just don't want to be around. Like they always have something snarky to say, or they think you're the pet, like you're the American and you're adorable and like, oh, look how cute she has a southern accent. Like you get that treatment. It's either or. I've never met a Brit that's like nonchalant about an American.
That is true. When I first got here, and my accent, my Southern accent was a lot. And again, I'm from the South. I was born in Tennessee, raised in Georgia for the most part of my life. But when I first got here and I wasn't like trying to mimic people, they would instantly pick up that I'm an American. And it would be a lot of, are you okay? Is that why you're here? Is everything okay? Are you safe? It was just like, I'm safe, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your concern, but yeah, I'm safe. It was a lot of, "Are you okay?" Yeah.
Not are you okay? This is the
I
safe place. It's
there
not
was
though.
one lady who yeah, she definitely knew I was Southern, she was a British lady, and she was like, "I don't know what your politics are, but we don't do that here." And I was just like, "Okay, lady, excuse me."
You're like,
Excuse
it's not
me.
me. Like,
Can I walk in your country, please? Just let me in. Yeah.
she said, pick a side.
She was quite serious.
Okay. Railing it in. High Vibe,
Mhm.
my co-host, says, "Where do you begin in freelance writing, especially if you don't have any education in writing specifically?" Oh,
Do you
this was a tough like
that's a good question, High
it's a
Vibe.
transition.
Do you wanna go first? And then I'll piggyback back
You
off
want
you.
me to answer the question? This is your
Do you want
interview.
me Are you drunk? But are you drunk yet? Because if you're drunk, then yeah.
First of all, I'm from New
I'll
Orleans. I don't get drunk. Let's start
Oh,
there.
well, okay.
Okay. Alcohol is a part of my blood. Get
My
drunk.
bad, my bad. Okay, so I'll go. I would do Fiverr or Upwork. I would sign up for that to start making a name for yourself. You would probably have to underbid a lot of other people, but if you want to just start making a name for yourself, definitely try Fiverr. You can do a website, just like a landing page, and go ahead and advertise from your Instagram, your TikTok, or whatever that you're doing. You're freelancing and do deals. You can do that. What else? Write obituaries, as morbid as that is. You can write
New hack
obituaries.
unlocked. What? Explain
Yeah,
that.
you can write. Just go, if somebody's passed away, I'll write their obituary. So there's yeah. So but honest to goodness, Fiverr do advertise from your Instagram, from your TikTok. Say that you're a freelance writer, and make just a landing page, something where somebody can sign up on your on a website. So yeah,
Okay.
good question. I hope I answered that okay.
I think you did a wonderful job.
Okay.
And I also, for people just coming in, Stephanie is a screenwriter, an author. What other kind of writing you do? I saw a
Travel
recipe book on
consultant.
your website.
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, this is okay. Wait, let me. Do you have other questions
No.
to that? Okay, so
You mean like
I
today, like the duration of the interview? Yes. But
no
what are you about to say?
with that question, is there like more questions with that question?
Uh-uh.
Okay. I love to write, and since I was 6 years old, I've been writing. Right, it's not to say that I'm the best writer. I wish I could write like Octavia Butler. I wish I cannot, but we're getting there, right? So you were saying about the recipes. I wrote a book when I was living in the state of Washington. I did move to the state of Washington by myself, and I was living in Spokane, and I would travel to Seattle a lot, and I got an idea for a book, and it was about a Black woman pastry chef, and it's a romantic book, and she starts dating a Japanese American doctor. I wrote that 10 plus years ago, and then I reinvented it and released it again. So if you want to go to my website, it's Stephanie Shephard, Shepherd spelled SHEPHARD .com. But in that book, since she's a pastry chef, I asked my mother for her two best cake recipes. Now, these recipes, you're from New Orleans, and I'm gonna say this. Don't hurt me, okay? They're probably better than anything you've ever tasted. It's a
Lies.
red velvet.
Lies and
I know, I know.
untruths.
See, I told you you're gonna hurt me.
I don't believe it.
It's a red velvet cake and a lemon cream cheese pound cake that I included in the book. And when I'm telling you, people like my sisters will cry if my mom don't fix it during Christmas. Like, this is how serious this cake is. These cakes are. It's the most delicious cakes I've ever tasted. And I've just traveled 10 countries, and I eat cake in every single one. Okay. I'm from the South. You Southern people, we eat all the butter, the sugar, everything. But I've never, to this day, 40 plus years old, I still haven't tasted any cake as good as my mother's. So I included them in the book as well. So they are free. These are who's ever watching, if you've fallen out with your family and you want to get in good with your family again, make these cakes. If you want a partner and you got someone in mind, make this cake one of the cakes for them. It is hands down the best cakes ever. So I included those in the book.
So you giving away the family secrets. You're not even making
The
people pay for the family secrets.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's just $1.89 for the book, the recipes, and 5 extra chapters. A sweet love like ours. So it's just $1.89. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to give people more than just a book. So
Yeah.
I gave them 2 family secret cake recipes. So if you love red velvet cake, if you love pound cake, and this is not store, this is not Whole Foods, this is better than Whole Foods, this is better than gourmet stores. This is the real deal cakes. You make them and everybody will love you forever. Like forever. Your kids will act right. Your husband will act right. Your partner will act right. You will be loved. So, yes.
This cake is doing a lot. We're
I'm,
banking on a
I'm
lot for
telling
this cake.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. People cry over my mom's cakes, okay? They cry. Make the
I'm
cake.
doing
In
it.
fact, I want people to make the cake and tag me, okay?
I'm gonna
Make the
make it.
cake
I'm gonna make it. And if it don't do
and
all
make
of that,
I'm telling you.
you'll be speaking to my
And
voice.
say you suck, this cake suck. I want you honest opinion. Be honest. But like I said, everybody like people get mad if my mom don't make the cakes. Like they literally will cry. That's
All
how good
right.
they
If you say so. Okay, we're gonna see. I'm gonna make the cake, y'all.
are. Make the
I'm gonna make the
cakes.
cake.
Make the
Um,
cakes.
Femme Noir Nomad, who I think believes you are her doppelganger, because she said something earlier about how you guys have similar lives. She asks,
Really?
"Are you concerned about AI and how it will affect your industry?" Don't not. No, no, no. We supposed to be on code. Don't do that. Are you doing anything differently to prepare?
Do you want to answer this first?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I my normal corporate America job was in disability insurance and long-term disability for 15 years. And in 20, I know I'm going to go around to answer, you know, as writers, we go around. In 2022, I graduated with a degree in master's degree in English creative writing and screenwriting because I was like, I'm serious about this. 2023, I opened up a writing consultation business, just writing consultation. I wasn't writing my own stuff. I was just writing consultations and ghostwriting. And I had a lot more business back then than reopening my business now. And it's because of AI. People don't need writing consultations as much, and they don't need ghostwriters as much because ChatGPT can do it. You know, Gemini can do it. What's the one from?
That's a
I
good one,
forgot the.
Claude.
Yeah, yeah. So it definitely has put a hamper in that, and that's why I'm writing books now. And well, let's say that I'm reworking all of my old books to put them out. I'm writing fantasy. I have one, it's called Scarlet Veil. She's coming out in a few months. I have a second one from the A Sweet Love Like Ours. It's a second one with the brother that's coming out. So I had to think like because it's drying up and it's going to continue dry up, unfortunately. And not only that, a lot of people are using it to write books. You know, you can. I thought about it. Now I've done it to edit to make sure didn't miss anything, but yeah, that's just the way of the land right now. It's the same thing when radios were being outsourced to TVs. It's just you got to stick with the flow. So yeah, good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're there yet. I still think that you, as somebody with a master's in writing, me as
Mhm.
somebody with the master's in writing, I'm still more equipped to
Mhm.
create a body of work that is
Yeah.
creative, that is imaginative, that
Mhm.
is well written. I'm still able to do that better than a computer. And I think
That
what's
is.
going to happen is that although people are generating content really quickly,
Mhm.
they were never equipped with the skills to
That is
produce
true.
quality work in the
That is
beginning.
very
So that's why, yeah, sure, you can put anybody really can put no shade to Amazon. Anybody really can put a book on Amazon, okay, and
true.
charge somebody $2, $5.
Mhm.
But when people really start to read that book and they think, okay, what am I getting out of this? And that's
Mhm.
across the board, right? So whether we're talking about fiction or we're talking about self-help, whatever it is,
Mhm.
we're gonna start to see that a lot of the copy is gonna be duplicated, right? Like a lot of
Mhm.
the same ideas and concepts, because we're not at a place right now where AI can create original ideas. We're just not
That's
there
very
yet.
true.
It's pulling
Mhm.
different things from the internet and regurgitating it out to you. So we'll get to a
Mm.
point where there's nothing new to pull because the creators have stopped creating because
Oh,
people see more value
no,
in
I
just
love that.
having
Mhm.
the final product instead of like having the original idea. Another thing
Mhm.
I'm noticing, because I do copywriting professionally, AI cannot strategically build you out a content plan in a way that
That's
understands your audience. It doesn't,
yes.
there are decisions that I make because I have experience, because I know the market, because
Mhm.
I know your customer, or I know the persona that you're targeting, that AI just can't
Mhm.
make those kinds of decisions because you can't teach that, you can't train that. So
Mhm.
there's like an element there where we still need the writer. Still, I don't
Yeah.
know how long, I
Thank
don't know
God.
how long, but I'll say today we still need the writer. And what's going to start happening is the writers who are able to prompt really well, who are able to
Mm.
use AI in a way that makes them write faster and better, those are going to be the cream of the crop. So if you are an aspiring writer, it is important that you learn AI, but it's also
Yes.
important that you keep that originality, that you keep that imagination alive in your work, because that's going to set you apart.
That's beautiful. You just inspired me. I'm like, "Okay, I won't be outsourced to AI."
You're not going
Good,
to
okay.
be outsourced to AI.
Well, I
You
know one thing.
not yet.
I I don't want to say that people have been dumbed down, but I feel like we're walking into that movie,
Wally.
Idiocracy.
Okay.
Idiocracy, yeah, oh, where because even the M dash, the long dash when you're
Yeah.
writing something,
Yes.
so many people who do not write do not understand that that's been around for hundreds of years, and they're like, "Oh, you use an M dash, that means you're AI." No, person, you just don't read literature like people
And you
who
don't
are
know
in
how
the
to
writing
correctly
business.
use an M dash.
Exactly. So that gives me hope that people who aren't in the writing business and who just want to throw out anything, they aren't going to go as far as the creatives who are actually writers and doing this day in and day out, and it's their life. So you gave me hope. Thank you. I
Of
appreciate
course.
that.
And I also like, I know we do different kinds of writing, but I'm also a firm believer that I don't need to explain my value to you. I work with
Mhm.
people who are willing to pay me because they understand my value already. So that
Amen.
extra work of having to explain my value,
Mhm.
time is
Yeah.
running. Okay?
I love it.
Time is
I
money and
love
time
it.
is running. I'm not wasting time
I love
explaining
it.
myself to you. Um, but anyways,
Those were
hey,
great questions. Great, great questions. Yes,
guys, you
AI
guys
is
are doing
has
a really
invaded
good
everything.
job.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a really good job as my co-hosts. Um, yes. So, what is your writing routine like now that you're in?
No routine. I
You
have
don't
no
have a
routine.
routine?
I have
Just
listen,
vibes?
I Free Willy it. Stephen King is a pantser. There's a pantsers and there's plotters. So, plotter is someone like J.K. Rowling who will knows everything about everything, who sits and writes everything out. That's not me because my head cannot do that. I am a Stephen King. Stephen King will just sit there, write when he feels like, get off when he's already said that he's a pantser. I am a pantser. I write when the mood strikes me because if it doesn't, I feel like I'm forcing it and it doesn't work. So I can write 50 pages in one sitting, like just
Okay.
boom, boom, boom. And then I don't want to see it for another week until I get another inspiration going or something like that. Or there, very rarely I'll write 2, 3, 4 days in a row. I just don't work like that. And if I do that 50 pages in one sit, my mind is out. We talked about that mush, right? My
Yeah.
mind is mush. It's mush, and then I'll get that inspiration later. So I don't. There's no. set schedule for me. In fact, I have to edit this book and it's supposed to be the 31st, coming out the 31st. I know I probably won't hit it to the 30th, but I'll be finished by the 31st. That's just the way I work. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
Are
work
you
like
are
that
you
too. I call them sprints
sprint?
because that
Yes.
sounds professional. But really, I waited till last minute because I'm not in the mood. And then I get in the mood the day before and I crank out an obscene amount of work, like inhumane. How did she do it? Because I didn't sleep.
The writer in you.
And I love that you brought up Stephen King. I'm a huge Stephen King fan.
I
And I
love
was going to
Stephen
say,
King.
as you're talking, yeah, Stephen King can crank out 50, 100, whatever pages. And it's because he's a shutaway for like 3 days. And he's like in
Mhm.
his dungeon writing work, like writing pages. And then he's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm going to take the month off. It's unhinged.
I wish we could. Yes, yes. But yeah. So
Unhinged.
no set schedule at all. Yeah.
Okay. How
All
then,
right.
I mean, then how do you balance? Okay, so this is a question
Okay.
kind of for me.
Okay.
How do you balance being in a new country and exploring when you have work to do? Like how do you
Okay, so this is okay. So my head, this is okay, this is my head. When I decided to leave the States, and even before then, I think when we were talking about COVID, well, when I was talking about COVID, I wanted to check out the Matrix. I did not want to be beholden to anyone. I did not want anyone telling me what the heck to do, when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. I wanted to be ultimately free. I didn't want to answer to anything except the laws of the country. That's it. So that's how I live really. I go where I want to go. I write when I want to write. It is just ultimate freedom. I am single. I my son is grown. I hop on a plane, train, whatever, and I love trains. So it's just ultimate freedom. So there's no schedule. There's It's just ultimate freedom. I've never had such freedom, and it's also very different being in another country where they don't bother you, where you're just a person. I feel like every single country that I've been to, just about, I'm just a person. I don't stand out. As long as I don't open my mouth so they can hear my southern accent, I get left alone. I was in France and I had to ask a police officer something. And okay, I had to ask the police officer something. I'm just thinking about how handsome he was, and he had an assault rifle. I mean, assault rifle, like an assault. And I was just like, and in France they don't play that because it's always a high alert for tour. I mean, for terrorism. And I was just like, he's going to act like an American police officer. That's how I was going to him. So I was very, very nervous going to him. And he just had the friendliest smile. I mean, he had an assault rifle, but he was just like, oh, yes, just telling me what to do and where to go because I had to ask something. So it's there's just this freedom in being outside of the states that I have never felt before. And that's what I wanted. So no schedule. I just do what I want. It's it's just freeing.
I know, and it's so like it's disarming too because you don't realize, I said this before on the channel, you don't realize that you're walking around with like not a chip on your shoulder, but maybe like
It
you're walking
is.
around, it's a chip. It's chip.
It's a chip on yours.
Because we live in a very like aggressive environment where you need to
Mhm.
protect yourself, right? So you go abroad, and I had a situation like that too when I was in Ireland actually, where I had to ask police officers for I think I needed a place to walk my dog, and all of the
Mhm.
signs in the area said no dog walking. So I was like, well, where is the
Really?
nearest park? And I couldn't find it on the map. So I saw these police officers, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna ask them. And when I tell you they were so friendly, one of them walked me to the nearest park, and it was just like,
Yes.
oh, what? Like these
You're not
people,
aggressive? Yeah.
right? These people are helpful.
This is what's happening. Every single country. I'm trying to think of where else. In Germany, now Germany, it was friggin' unbelievable. And I know one of your videos said you hated Germany, right?
I don't hate anything.
You didn't find it pleasing to your senses. Is that the writer saying? Like when I was in Germany, the police officers were so nice. The German people were so nice. I was on a train. I was going to the Czech Republic. I was going to Prague, and it's like the Harry Potter trains where you sit inside of a cart with seats.
Yeah.
It's the Harry Potter train, and the German women on there. As soon as they heard my accent, they were like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" I was just like, "I'm okay, thank you." Everybody is so concerned about women over here. Like, do you need anything? Are you safe? Is that why you left America? I mean, this is literally verbatim what these women were asked. Is that why you left? Do you need anything? And they were just like, you can talk, right? You can talk freely. I was just and so yeah, German everywhere I've been, it's just been this overwhelming positive response. And that is, like you said, the chip on my shoulder, it had to gradually leave because I would go down the street thinking I'm going to hear a gunshot and just it's quiet. It's just people walking. I was in Italy. There were men taking my suitcases, and I'm thinking, you're about to steal my suitcase. No, they were just trying to help me. I was just like, this is so weird. It felt it. And when I'm telling you, it still feels weird to feel safe because I'm thinking everywhere is like the wild, wild west in America, and I was in the good section of Atlanta. I was, like, down from the governor's mansion. I still hear gunshots. Here is just like, no, you're not hearing gunshots, you're not hearing the squeals of tires, you're not hearing fights breaking out. It's just it's completely different, and I think your nervous system has to get used to that, and that's what mine had to do.
How long would you say it took your nervous system to go back down? Or really to just
4
go down?
months.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah.
4 about you was that yours about the same?
Yeah. I think that's why when people ask me how long should I go, I'm like, you still gonna be on edge the first couple of months. Like you're still gonna be walking around with a chip on your. That's why.
Yeah.
That's another reason. And like y'all don't bash my channel, but like when people go online and they say like XY place doesn't like black people, or I was treated like this in this country, I don't want to discredit anybody's experience,
Mhm.
but sometimes I think that Black Americans in particular, we go to places expecting other people to treat us
Yes.
poorly. And then
Yes.
when a situation happens that might be circumstantial, we take it and we
Mhm.
say, this whole country, this whole city is racist. Whereas if
Yes.
we had more time there and if we got a full understanding of the new
Mhm.
place that we're in, we might see that actually the US is way more aggressive or way more racist than any place that I've ever been.
10 countries and the US was by far the worst. I've been in 10 countries in 5 months. The US, hands down, hands down. I encountered racism in the state of Washington, which is a liberal state, so it's hands down. Being over here, they look at you like an American. They do look at you like you're an American, but as long as you don't act a fool, they don't care. They really do not care. Just don't act a fool. And like you said, a lot of times we go into a situation thinking, because I know I did, thinking that, oh, they're going to react to me negatively because I'm a black woman, I'm an American. So it's just like triple threat, like black
Hmm.
woman, American, and just been completely different where I was just like, okay. In Germany, I thought that I was going to experience Nazis everywhere. Just the
What part of
German people, and
Germany were you in?
I was in Leipzig, Germany, which was the most quiet city I've ever been to in my life. I mean, the people were dead quiet. You would go into a grocery store, nobody would talk. or they would whisper to each other. Just pss, pss. It was just such a weird feeling. But yeah, I went to Germany with a chip on my shoulder saying, this is the real deal racism right here, and what am I about to get into? And they were the friendliest, kindest people ever. The German police were friendly and kind. I mean, the people, like I said, the women on the train, my neighbors on the street, just everybody was so kind and friendly, and it boggled my mind. So yeah, so give a country a try. Give it Italy, great. I would say for anybody, and I'm going to do a very selfish plug. I fell in love with Italy. Have you been to Italy?
I have not, and I want to go eat. I'm ready.
Look, look, this is a tear. This is an invisible tears coming down my
Are you sad
face.
for me? You sad for me? I need to
I am
go.
sad for anybody who is not. Okay, so I am doing a writers retreat in Italy from October 13th to the 20th. It's on the coast because I think that every Black woman should experience Italy. I got treated, and I was looking like a bum. Okay, I was like, men were coming up, and there's trains everywhere. I'm going up and down cobblestones. They were just like, "Oh, I got your suitcase. Let me carry it," and just carry my suitcase and the food. Okay, the food. I was just like, this is what a tongue is supposed to be,
Ooh,
because the
ooh.
food was amazing. The women were sweet. I was just like, I want to live here. I think I really want to live in Italy. It was unbelievable. So I am doing a writing retreat October 13th through 20th on the Amalfi Coast. So every Black woman needs to experience Italy. I'm sorry. You just do.
Yes. Marissa says she wants to go. Y'all, I put a link in the
Come,
chat
come.
to Stephanie's Ink and Honey Writers Retreat.
Yes, yes.
Learn about what a tongue is supposed to do.
When I'm telling you, the first time I tasted Italian pizza, I was just like, no, crying. Is this what food is supposed to taste like? Italian desserts, pasta. I was just like, so they weren't lying, because you always think people are lying and over. No, no. I still think about that food today, especially in England. I'm like, God, I just need an Italian pizza, please. So yes, it's no joke. It is no joke. So yes, if you can, we will experience all of Italy. You don't even have to write. If you just want to go, you've never been, and you need a girls group to go, 7 days in Italy. So yeah, and every woman needs to experience it.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Why do you feel like it was important for you to center women for this trip? Why did you want to make it a girls only retreat?
Definitely, definitely women only. It was especially for women, number one, who maybe you're getting into the writing free, and I think the one about a freelance writer. If you trying to finish a novel, trying to begin a novel, or you just maybe, like I said, you just want to see Italy. So yeah, definitely, it was for women because we need our own space. You can flirt with the hot Italian men if you want, or the hot Italian women if you want. Flirt with whoever you want to, but we need our space. So that's why.
Okay, and I also wanted to add, because this is reminding me that freelance writing, like how do I jump into freelance writing? Something that you want to do is surround yourself with other writers because that strengthens your skill set. So, like, the reason why we're good writers is because we've gone through years of workshop. We've had people read our stuff, tear it apart. We've had to accept criticism. We've had to refine it and learn what works in a story. And I think it's iron sharpens iron, right? So if you need a
Mhm.
setting where you're going to be around other writers, other Black women, in a beautiful setting, I think this is the retreat for you.
Definitely, definitely. So if you come, if you have, you might need a payment plan. I do definitely payment plans because I know it can be a little bit expensive. But again, every Black woman in America needs to go to Italy. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. That's every single one.
I don't know. I had my share of Italians in Albania, and let's
Do you
talk
wanna
about
talk about
Albania.
Albania?
Why did, yeah, let's talk about
No,
Albania.
you
Why did you hate
okay,
it?
so okay, so I watched you when I was planning my Europe trip. I watched you were one of the people I watched. I was like, "Oh, Albania. Okay, let's do this." No, no, I love it. I love it because we talked about this. I'm glad I went. If you also go to my website, there's a blog and I talk about Albania and I have some pictures on there. And I was supposed to have beach views, and I had crumbled buildings and buildings that were damaged in a fire. There are and kill that's why I was just like, maybe it just wasn't like maybe it was just me. There are wild dogs, and I was thinking about your puppies. I was like, "Did you not encounter any wild dogs?" Because that's all I saw were
Okay,
wild
so
dogs.
wait, tell the people what city you were in,
I was
or
in
which cities
duress.
did you go to? You went to
I
Doris.
went to
Okay.
Toronto and duress, yes, but I stayed in duress.
Okay.
So, no, I saw wild dogs,
I
people
love that you
smoking
were thinking about
inside.
my dogs.
I
You saw
really thought about your dogs. I was like, "I'm so glad her dogs made it." But, people still smoke inside, so I felt like I was in the 1980s New Jack City. I was just like, "What is happening?" Um, oh, panhandlers accosted me, like, I was just like, yeah, Imma have to bounce out, and then you couldn't figure out if you used the Albanian money, which is lek, right? Like, or euros, or if they accepted cards, and I was like, "I want the soft life, I don't want to make it harder for me." Deliveries, they where I was in Duress, you only had to you had to pay cash for deliveries, and it sometimes it would be Lex, sometimes it would be euros, and those fees add up. They will. We were just talking about how much currency conversion. It was just like it was too much. It was too much. And like the Albanian men, they would just come up to me and speak Albanian, and I was just like, "Dude, I don't know what you're saying. Like, I don't know what you're saying." So yeah, it was wild, and I was supposed to stay 30 days, I can only stay 5 days. That was
You
it. I
only
was
stayed 5 days?
I was like, "Peace, Albania." And then
Oh my
I was
God.
so worried, I was like, "Maybe it was me." I went to Reddit, and I was looking at Reddit, and people from Albania were like, "Yeah, we don't even go to Albania. Why are you going?" So I was just like so it wasn't just me. So for any Albanian people, I'm so sorry. It just was not for me. It was not.
Albanians will say that about Albania. That's like when you talk about Atlanta and you like they got shooting down the
Don't
street.
go.
Don't go to Atlanta. They got shoot. It's the same thing. I thought about doing like the dark side of Albania. First of all, let me just say, don't
Okay.
be on my channel watching my channel and being like, Kyoka love the place, I'm gonna go there, and then get mad at me.
You weren't the only one. You were not the only one. Like I said, I am glad I went to experience it. I on the Bible, I am glad I went to experience it, and it just wasn't for me, and that's perfectly fine. It just wasn't for me. I think once the panhandlers accosted me, I was just like, I'm done. Yeah.
I will say I did not spend any time in Doris. I think actually
Mhm.
I spent a little time in Doris. I don't really go to Doris. It was present Doris was presented to me as a place where a lot of people from Tirana are from
Mhm.
Durrës. They get older
Mhm.
and they need to work, so they go to the bigger city. Tirana is the bigger
Oh,
city. It's a little
mhm.
bit more developed. It's a little bit more. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
First of all, Albania as a whole is a developing country. They are still
Yes,
modernizing
definitely,
everything.
definitely,
Okay, set your
definitely.
expectations. But
Yes.
Doris is farther behind than Tirana. Tirana gets a lot of
It
money, they get a lot of investments, so they develop faster than some of your other cities. Tirana is currently the biggest city in
yes.
Albania. Um, what else? I probably do like a separate video on there. I would never pay anything in euros. They scamming you.
Really?
I would
No,
only
because
use lek.
there were so many places I would go to, and I knew at that time, I knew the Albanian phrase for, "Do you accept lek, euro, card?" And it would be, "No, no lek, euro, euro, euro."
That's
And no card,
because
definitely no card. So it was just like
no,
place after place was just like they wanted euros.
no. That's because
So that's how I
no,
just get scammed.
you were getting scammed. Them Albanians know. First of all, don't even give them an option. Don't even give them an option. You could, and this is how I navigate, okay? And I am
Mhm,
an introvert, so I really don't like talking to people, but I will haggle.
mhm,
All right. I remember I was getting my car fixed because I rented a
mhm.
car. The guy gonna tell me, what did he say? It was like, he was like, it's 200 euros. First of all, to
What?
replace a tire that I have the
Mm-mm,
spare, I
mm,
wouldn't pay that in the US. I'm not gonna pay it in Albania. And
mm-mm.
also, you think I can't read ship? I can't read ship, but I can read a sign. It says 200 lek for a tire. You're not gonna get over on me. Don't give them an option. If you go to Albania, I'm not paying
Mhm.
nothing in euros. For what?
Okay.
I'm
Know
not
that
paying
now.
anything in euros. No, those
See, but
delivery
that's
drivers, only cash, only lek.
nobody I wasn't hearing that on any of the channels is that, this like I said, may I went in there with the expectation that knowing that this was a developing country. I did go in there with that expectation, but I also saw, and which irritated the mess out of me, was all of the crumbling buildings and all of the crumbling infrastructure and just men on the street corner smoking. That got to me. I was
Ooh,
like,
wait, we
I
gotta
need y'all to
clean it
start
up.
working.
Wait, we gotta clean it up. We gotta clean it up. These are not homeless men on the corner. Like, it's
No,
not.
no.
They're not.
No,
These are.
no, no.
They
I
just
know that, but
do
I'm
that.
just like,
They
it,
just
it
do
just
that.
it bothered me. Like but day in, day out, just smoking and drinking coffee. I was just like, don't y'all see y'all's country need y'all? Like, I was just like, because I was like, I'm not here to build up a country. My slave ancestors did that with America. I'm not here to build up any country. So
I
I'm
can't.
thinking I'm going in there where everybody's pitching in to get this country. And it just, and I'm so sorry. And you cannot erase this. And I'm going to sound like such a horrible American, but that's all of these men were just on the street corner smoking. And that just bugged me. It bugged me. I was, yeah.
Okay,
And then
I feel like when you say street corner though,
they
it sounds
street corner.
bad. It sounds really
That's what they were
bad.
doing. It was like New Jack City. I felt like I stepped in New Jack City. That's how I did. I was just like, and I'm sorry, Albanian people, don't come after me. I'm just
Not
like,
New Jack City.
they were smoking in restaurants. They were even when I left, I was like, I can't take this anymore. I went to the ferry building and they were trying. I know they were trying to scam me getting through the ferry to like because they were asking for more money. I was like, I have no more euros to give. I'm sorry, y'all gonna need to let me in or not. But they were even smoking inside the ferry building with all these signs saying no smoking, and I was just like, yeah, I can't anymore. I'm not ingesting cigarette smoke for nobody 24/7. I'm just not. They don't care about nobody's lungs.
They don't care about their own lungs. They
I was just like, mm-mm. I couldn't wait to get on that ferry. I was like, mm-mm, Jesus, get me out of here.
yes,
Yeah.
they
So
smoke.
that was
Yes.
that was my Albanian experience, and I'm sorry. Once again, I am so sorry, internet. I tried. I tried it. It just wasn't for me. Now, if talk about France, then that'll be different because everybody French people. Like I thought I knew French. I took French in 4 years in high school. No, like French. If you are not speaking French, they just look at you like, why are you even in our country? So it's not perfect anywhere. France was definitely, except like for a few people, the police officers, some employees here and there. You go somewhere, they're expecting you to speak French, and if
Yeah.
you don't, they will be like, "Get out of our country until you learn it." Just like that's how they act. Just yeah, so this is yeah, it's been
But they don't tell you to get out of our country. They'll just ignore you.
the eye
Like,
rolls,
right.
stupid American.
They'll look at you like you have three heads.
Yes, definitely. But again, I am so thankful I went and gave it a try.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell anybody not to go. Like Toronto, go to Toronto. I would suggest that. Don't go to Durez maybe because yeah, but and then so I took the ferry from Albania to Italy. And once on the ferry and it was filled with just like an Italian crew. It was just all men, an Italian crew, and it was just complete night and day difference, just the culture and how they treated you. They were very nice and welcoming, helpful. Like this Italian truck driver kept lugging my luggage up and down the stairs every time I saw him. It was just everybody was just so helpful. It was just like, I never experienced that before. So another plug in. People, you have to go to
You
Italy.
gotta
Just
go to
go.
Italy.
Italy.
Have you been dating
No. No.
at all?
I tried. And then I was like, I don't want this stress. And that was another reason why I finished writing my book. I was like, I have the perfect man in my book. So
No,
I
that's
don't
a
want
writer thing. That's a writer thing. I always feel like, man, why can't I just create my perfect man?
exactly.
Why can't he
And I
just come
did.
to
So
life?
the come to life part, that is it. The come
What
to
is that
life
about?
part. That yes. But I tried to. I was on Bumble, I was on Tinder. No, not Tinder, Hinge. I was on Bumble and I was on Hinge. And number one, um, I don't know how to put this nicely. Men are men everywhere in the world. Men are men. Just women are women, men are men. Everybody's everybody. Ju- And I was just like, I don't want anything to ruin my experience as I travel. And it's sort of a negative way to look at it. But I was just like, I don't want to deal with any drama, nothing. I just want me and freedom.
No, it's not negative. I think every woman should do that because
Very,
this is your first time. Like, we haven't forgotten, this is your first time
yeah,
solo traveling abroad. Like, you need to like orient yourself. You need to, this is a time for introspection. This is a time
very much
for
so.
just having new experiences. And I think men sort of like sometimes they can really disrupt your nervous system in a way that is
Definitely.
like just unnecessary. So it's
Yeah.
like when you're traveling, yes, as Nicole
Not to say that
says,
like
protect your
like
peace.
I dated, but, I flirt, but pretty much that's about it because I like you said, I just don't want anything to disrupt my freedom at this time. Not to say that it won't change later, especially once I figure out where I want to settle down. I'm really thinking it's either going to be Ireland or Italy where I settle down. So, not to say that it'll happen later, but I wanted ultimate freedom. Eat, pray, love, ultimate freedom. So, that's what I have.
But you, okay, but you haven't been to Asia.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm supposed to go in July. I'm supposed to. So,
Okay, it's
fingers
almost
crossed.
June, so
I know, right?
why do you say supposed to go?
Because I'm still getting plans. I don't know if I'm going to be in Italy at that time or if I'm going to Egypt. So I it's just like, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Go see the
So,
pyramids. Look at me, like I get a
have you
vote.
been? Have you
No,
been
I
to?
want to go.
I do. I really, really, really do. That one I was actually looking at taking a tour, doing it with, and they have like single women tours. I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, I've heard that women get not played with. What's a good word?
Haggled?
They can be sometimes aggressive, like the men can be aggressive if you're a single woman. But I've seen other YouTubers and they're just fine. They're women YouTubers just fine in Egypt. So I don't know. If anybody knows, please. If anybody's been to Egypt,
I've heard Egypt is one of those places that you probably need to create a curated experience when you go. Like it's not one of those go it alone
yeah,
like destinations. Like how you're moving around London, I wouldn't say Egypt is that from what I've heard.
that's yeah, pretty much the same as what I've heard. But so we shall see. I don't know. We'll
Okay,
figure
well,
it
keep
out.
us updated.
Yeah.
So, you're not dating, but how are
Mm.
you making friends? Because I know it's hard to make friends in London.
It is. Okay, so I am an introvert like you, and I know I'm just yapping like this girl is not introvert. I don't need a lot of socialization. I really don't. I've met writers here. I've taken writing classes. I was in Reading. I took a writing class there. Oxford, they had writing. So I am meeting other writers. But like, as in, hey girl, you want to go out for a drink? I don't feel the need right now because I'm an introvert. So yeah, I'm fine at home talking to family and friends, chatting, or doing a writing class. I do writing classes, so yeah.
But also, the UK girlies are booked. You have to schedule out a night or a day or whatever with the girls
Really?
weeks in advance. The UK girlies are booked.
Oh
Like,
wow.
their weekends
Yeah,
are
I haven't even
planned.
tried. Haven't
Well,
even tried.
I totally understand. Not the dog's acting up. My nephew, my dog nephew is here, disturbing
Oh.
the peace, everybody. So he's fine. Um, but yeah, I feel like as you go along, I do see a need for kind of building a community, especially once
Mhm,
you find a place that you feel like you want to settle or that you stay
mhm.
long term in. What's the longest you've been in a place? Has it just been the UK?
No, Germany, I was there for a complete month. I was in Leipzig for a complete month. Here it's going on 2 months in the UK. So here
And are you
in Germany.
planning to? I was gonna say, are you planning to stay like the full 6 months?
Probably not. Maybe 3 to 4 months. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, probably not. But there are other places to go. I just have a list of all these places I wanna go, so I gotta get through the list.
Gotta get to.
Gotta get to
Are you? So I'm assuming that you're hopping in and out of the Schengen and using. Are you using the UK as your anchor?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Well, like, I was 10 days in Ireland, 10 days in Scotland, I did 10 days originally in England before doing Albania, which I was supposed to stay in Albania for 30 days. I was only there for 5 days. And then I slow traveled through Italy and France by train. And then I stayed in Germany for a complete month to do a rest because I was hopping everywhere. And then am I missing? Oh, Czech. I didn't stay like long. I just visited Czech. And then it was flying from Germany to England and Wales, visited Wales. And so, yeah, it really is just whatever mood takes me, really. When I feel like resting or when I feel like boom, 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 busting out just a bunch of countries at once. So
Hmm. And
that ultimate
how are you booking accommodations? Do you book?
Airbnb, booking, and trusted house sitters. So I
Oh,
know
you
trusted
house
house.
sit. What? Huh? Okay.
Go to my blog. Go to my blog.
So you don't like house sitting?
No, it's not that I love the pets.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's just some issues here and there. Just little it's not something that I would recommend 100% for people to do. I really would. If you're looking for the soft life, sometimes it can feel as if you're an indentured servant, really. And I'm serious. I didn't say slave. I said indentured servant. Sometimes
No,
you can
because
feel
sometimes with Bernie and Frank, it feels like I'm an indentured servant too. Very little return though.
no love back. Just
No
give.
love back.
And so sometimes what the homeowner will ask is they don't even do. Like they don't like walk my dog 5 times a day. You don't even walk your dog 5 times a day. Or a lot of times is that the pets will wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, either meowing, barking you to death, and I just be like, "I need some sleep," and I'm a late bird, so I'm just like and so I try to put sort of the animal on my schedule, the pet on my schedule, but, yeah, a lot of times the homeowners ask you to do stuff that they don't even do, where it's like, "Oh, they have this person here, free worker, let's do all this." See, I'm not the only one,
A
Nicole
free
feels it too.
worker. I
Yeah,
did have a friend like that who I was trying to talk to her about house sitting because
mhm.
she doesn't have any pets, and I was like, that's a good way for you to travel. And she was like, "So work? Are they gonna pay me?" And I was like, "No, they're
No,
not
you
gonna pay me. They're
cannot
paying
get
you with
paid.
accommodation." She's like, "But I could just buy my own accommodation." Okay,
That's why
well,
in Germany, I was like I just booked an Airbnb. I was like, I didn't wanna be bothered. Like, I love dogs, like and especially because I love to walk dogs, and dogs get you out in the community, they get you interacting with people. I love walking dogs and being out with dogs, but at one point, I was just like, "I just need me time." Just I need to sleep into 10, 11, 12. I just need me time. But yeah, it's just a lot of homeowners, they'll ask you crazy stuff to do. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'll do Imma love on your dog and take care of your dog or cat. Imma love them to death, and I'm gonna keep your house clean. But you talking about gardening with rats. No, you
not the
gotta garden with rats.
rats.
Yeah, there's I was like, "No, I'm not gonna go out
Rats.
in the garden with rats in it." I'm just not, so, yeah. So it's
Gosh.
go to my blog. If people wanna know the truth about trusted house sitters, go I don't know if I have my blog up. I'll have that one up this week if it's not already up, but and I'll give you the unfiltered rundown. I already talked about Albania. I can't have Stephanie Perry and her people coming after me on trusted house sitters. So, I'm
Look,
keeping it nice and
we want peace over here, everybody.
exactly,
We want peace over
well, I
here.
I want to be that person who will tell you the truth and make your own decision, and I think a lot of times we don't get told the truth because, of course, you wanna make it look glamorous, people wanna make it and, "Oh, come here," and stuff like that, and a lot of times they just won't tell you the dirty, nitty-gritty every day of it, which you can still have the glamorous portion. There's a lot of wonderful things about Atlanta and a lot of stuff I'll be like, "Nah, I don't know if you wanna go there, sis." So it is good to have these 2 varying, degrees of what's happening in this country or city that you or thing that you're doing. So so it's not me being negative. It's I think women, we owe it to other Black women to make the best decision for themselves and to give them all the facts. Don't just give them the beauty of this place or the beauty of this thing. Well, what are the negative things? That's in all of life.
Okay. So you heard it here first. Because of Stephanie, I will talk about the negative parts of Albania and I'll tag her. Just kidding.
I don't want Albanian people coming after me. I
No,
don't
but we
listen.
appreciate it. Khadija says thanks for keeping it real. We appreciate
You're
it. We appreciate it. And you're right, you know? I feel like I always struggle with when I create content, I feel like people only hear certain things
That
also.
is true. That's true.
Like, and they won't listen to the full video. They won't listen to, they only want the sound bites. But then
Mhm.
also, things that I think travel is one of those things that it's so individual that
Mhm.
it's like I could be okay with something or I could dislike something and somebody else could go and they have a completely different experience. So it's
Mhm.
like you really have to learn who you are as a person, as a traveler. Like, what are
Definitely.
the things you like? They're so like they're like, especially when you solo travel, it's like you could really tap in and discover a new part of yourself. Like, I don't know, like in Europe, they don't a lot of places don't have central AC. You may find but
Sure.
like you may find that a hard stop for you is it's hot. I want to be able to go into my apartment and turn on the air conditioner.
No,
Like that's
no,
the rule. Or like even
wait, let me
even like
let
having a
me
washer and a dryer.
the bane of my existence is that right there in the
No,
UK.
I had to Google how to use one of those 'cause I had no idea. I was freezing. I went there. I think I've gone so many times, but I went there and it was freezing, and I was wrapped in blankets. The dogs were shaking. It was pitiful.
Oh
We
my
look.
god.
It was pitiful, and I was like, "How do I work this thing? I don't understand it." My Airbnb host had to come into the apartment and show me how, and I still didn't get it, so I had to look at a video on YouTube. So the whole
Mhm.
thing. Yeah,
This
because you
is
said yes, AC is my heart stop. You see what I'm saying?
let me tell you okay, so this is what I cannot figure out in my head with UK. We're gonna talk about countries. Let's talk about the UK. They can colonize all the friggin' world, but they can't figure out to put screens on their windows or how to use or get HVAC. Like, I don't understand
What
this. Just like screens, like
pollution?
they don't have. What'd you say?
Pollution?
Okay, I understand that,
One
but
of the
still, they could do something.
biggest pol-
They could do something better than this thing, this busted up radiators. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
This is unrelated, but what I hate about the UK is on the tube. Why y'all got cloth seats on the tube? Those are nasty.
I'd be like, I'll just stand up.
Yes, those
I'll
are
just,
disgusting.
I'm just gonna
Why did we
stand.
do that? You could
I,
easily just get something you could wipe down.
I don't know. It's like them eating beans in the morning. I was like, we're not in the war anymore, people. Why are y'all still eating like you're
Not
rationing
in the
food?
war.
Stop. It's just like
Marmite? Have you had Marmite?
I no, it's in the pantry over here, and I just look at it like I'm not even going
Take a
to.
little bit. Take a little bit and
I'm
let
not.
me know what you
Mm-mm,
think.
mm-mm, mm-mm. No, thank you.
No, no. If you go to the UK, you need to hook up with some person of color, okay? Whether they
Yeah.
be the Caribbeans, whether they be, they have a large Indian population, go hook
Mhm.
up with one of them and get fed, okay? You
Yeah,
can't.
outside I'm outside of Reading, and Reading is a big immigration population, thankfully, and, like, they had black hair care, they had black barber shops, they had immigrants, they had Indian, Chinese, I mean, every type of food, so, yes, I'm good where I am, but, like, British, the dry toast and beans, like, I'm not understanding this at
And then
all.
the beans are sweet. Like they're not, I don't know. I just get
It's
disgusted.
yeah, it's so no
Blood
country is
pudding?
good. Blood pudding. I tried it and I was just like, "Haggis? Why? Why?" It's like
Why?
black people eating chitlins, like, we need to stop some of this stuff. We just need to stop.
Don't have the black folk coming on me. I know there's somebody watching this talking about I got chitlins in my fridge right now. I don't know.
I asked my mom like, my mom was making chitlins, like, a few years ago, and I was like, "Mom, why are you making this?" And she looked at it and she was like, "I don't know why." And she stopped. At that point, she just stopped. "I don't know why." And she was just like, "Okay, that was it." So, yeah, just
It's
some
so
stuff,
easy to let go.
yeah, just let it go. Let it die. It's okay.
Yeah.
Go to Italy. Eat food, eat
You've been to
eat this
Italy enough. You need to let Italy rest. You going in
Ma'am,
October.
ma'am,
You talking
ma'am.
about going in July. Don't go in July. Let it rest. You might be
Um,
addicted.
I think I am. I think the food, if no other reason, like literally, my taste buds were like, "This is how food is supposed to taste." Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And even with that, oh, the ladies will love this. Even with all this, I've lost almost 40 pounds
Wow.
traveling. And once I was out that States, I lost 10 pounds within the first couple of weeks when I was out of the States. And so I've lost, I think it's 36, 37 pounds now. So, and I eat whatever I want to. Literally, I've never, I know I'm on a cleanse now, it's just because I've just been eating, but I literally, I don't, whatever, whatever's available, I just eat. And you're
Yeah, I
walking a
drink
lot.
wine. You don't drink wine, but I drink wine. I always get wine and dessert, and I lost weight.
See? It's oh my it's night and day. You don't taste all the chemicals, even the chocolate. I'm a big chocolate lover. It's not over sweet. It's just right. It's such a big difference. So, if anything, leaving the States, you will probably lose weight just right off the get-go.
Do you have that problem where people hear that you're American and so they give you extra sweetener or extra syrup?
No,
Okay.
no.
I don't
Do
know.
you? They're
That
like, "Oh,
used to
you
happen
need
all the time.
you
Like
need extra sugar,
that used to happen all
extra
the time.
butter."
You probably like your coffee sweet. So
I
I
do.
put an extra pump. I did not thank you, homegirl. However, make it like you make the other ones. Don't do that to me.
Never,
I don't need all
nobody's
that.
that is hilarious though. They're like, "Yeah, we know you like it sweet."
You know, we know. I got you,
Yeah.
girl. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, I'm trying to all the restaurants and pubs, no, just yeah, very straightforward. So, yeah, get out of the States, you're gonna lose weight. You definitely are going to get healthier and lose weight. So that's a good thing.
Mm. Has there been anything that you've learned about yourself since leaving the US?
I am a city girl. I I'm not like, I need modern amenities, I just do, and I think that's one of the reasons why me and Albania and I weren't clicking because I couldn't just do a Uber. I couldn't just do,
Yeah.
delivery easily. It was everything that had extra steps. And like again, it felt like I was in the 1980s. In the
Yeah.
1980s, if anybody was born in 1990s, you called on the phone, you
Yeah.
talked to people, you had your cash out. I was like, I'm over 1990s. So I like modern amenities. I like being in the city where I can walk a lot. I love taking trains. I am a train fanatic. I give me a train and I'm hopping on it and I'm just going wherever. But like I did the slow travel up Italy, up the coast of Italy, and it was just an amazing experience. I took first class train in France and again in France. Okay, so in Italy, the trains, they will translate. They have Italian, they have French, and they have English. Once you cross over that French border, everything's just in French. I mean French. They're not trying to translate nothing. They're just and then you're supposed to know what they're doing. So, but still, it was such an amazing experience going through the countries.
The French don't care about you. I bet it was
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it was
That sounds gorgeous.
absolutely just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. And that's why I was like, when I do this writing retreat, it has to be along the coast of Italy and just it, I'm just thinking about it now. You wanna make me cry. It's just
Don't
it was
cry.
that
I'll
it
cry
was
with
that
you.
it's happy tears. It's happy because I never thought that I would experience that. Never in a thousand years. I never thought I'd go to Albania, never in a thousand years. So, I doubted if I ever would go to Germany, and just these amazing experiences where you never think that you'll experience, they're right before your eyes, and it is just it's unbelievable. So everybody should travel. No matter where you go, travel. Travel. Just yeah.
Thank you. Okay. What's next for you?
Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to go to Egypt. or China or Italy.
When you going to
I,
China?
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
When would you go? When are you going to China? I'll be in China in
Well, I
July.
don't know, like the Asia, like I don't. I want to go, but I'm thinking I'll probably do Egypt first. I really do want to experience Egypt in all of its beauty. So I'm thinking Egypt. I'm still writing. The next book out, my first book is A Sweet Love Like Ours with the two cake recipes, red velvet cake, lemon cream cheese pound cake. It's included. And then I have the other one. It's Black women and Japanese men. They're interracial, multicultural books. And I am releasing Scarlet Veil, which I hope would be, it's a fantasy novel that I'm hopefully doing justice to like Octavia Butler because it was a big inspiration from her to write this. And I got the inspiration for the character from when I was in Ireland. Ireland was so magical and it was just a magical experience. So if anybody's on my website, just go to the Scarlet Veil and you'll just get a little preview of it.
Definitely. And I've dropped a link to Stephanie's
Oh,
website
thank you.
in the comment section. It'll also be in the description of this video. I'm gonna get that book. I'm gonna try to make that cake.
Even if you don't
I
read the
will
books, well, in fact, the recipes are just 99 cents. So you can just buy the recipes. It's 99 cents for both recipes. So even if you don't get the book, get the recipes.
I'm gonna get the book because I'm nosy.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna make that
Okay.
cake. I'm gonna
Okay.
make one of the cake. Maybe I'll make both of the cakes. We'll see. We'll see how hungry I am this upcoming month. It is my birthday, so I'm gonna treat myself.
When is your
Um,
birthday exactly?
June 14th, it's Flag Day. Nobody
My
steal my
nephew's birthday.
identity, by the way.
My nephew is June 14th, so I can remember that. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna send you a
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Oh yes, thank you. Oh, well, I've enjoyed you, Stephanie. We've had a lovely
Thank
chat.
you. Thank you for having
Yes.
me. Thank you for all the questions and everybody watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always email or well, just DM me. You know, my last name is spelled Shephard, but you'll still find
Oh,
me
not a
on.
typo.
It's no problem. You know what? Short little thing. Half my family spell it that way. The other half spell it Hard. So I spell it Hard. But yeah, you'll still find me on Instagram and TikTok. I hate social media. I really do. So, but I'm on it. I'm an introvert. Like I'm an introvert. I do have my pictures and stuff on there, but I'm an introvert. But yeah, I'm trying to get more into social media. So
Well, I hope you do get more into
thank
social
you.
media, and we will keep tabs on you, Stephanie. Anytime you want to come down to the channel and just chit chat, you're welcome. Thank you so much
Thank
for joining me tonight. Thank you all for watching the video.
you.
As a reminder, the Awkward Black Nomad is going on a hiatus to enjoy my summer vacation, y'all. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. Click the notification button so you are notified whenever I go live. Get Stephanie's book and the recipes because they too cheap, and we're gonna have to talk about that offline. Okay, but I'm gonna make the
Okay.
cake, and we're gonna
Yes.
see. I'm gonna give a review for
Okay.
everybody.
I want
Okay,
honest reviews.
not
Thank
not judgment.
you.
Okay, thank you everybody. Good night. Cheers. Hopefully you guys will have a libation. And I'll talk to y'all later. All right, stay black. Bye bye.
Bye bye.